and welcome back. Today this is the second tutorial on calculating the pivot index of the array. What is the pivot index? When we talk about the list of numbers, so the pivot index would be a position where the numbers on the left hand side equal to the number on the right hand side when we sum the numbers. For example, this is the list of numbers. Now when we take 1 and sum all of the other numbers, they are not equal. So we are going to move forward. We're going to check here. On the left hand side it's only 1, on the right hand side there are so many. The sum of numbers is much higher than the 1. Then we go here and check. This is 8, this is like 17. When we go here, this is like 11, this is 11. So the pivot index is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the third pivot index of a number. So whenever we talk about calculating the pivot index of any array or a list, we just find the position or the index where the sum of the left hand side values are equal to the sum of the right hand side values. Okay, so if we are looking to write it down in terms of its description, it would be like this. Sum of all the numbers strictly to the left is equal to the sum of all numbers strictly to the right. If index is on the left edge, for example this, then it should always be on 0 and the right should always be something. So there is no pivot index for this case, in this case. And if the index in the right is the sum of numbers is 0, as there are no numbers. So if we take about this, so there are no numbers, it should be 0. Okay, so let's create a function in order to calculate this. So in the next line we create a function pivot index. We'll take num as its argument. Num is the list, it could be any list, and then we're going to calculate. Now what would be the algorithm to calculate this? So just think about it. We are looking to calculate the sum on the left hand side should be equal to the sum on the right hand side. So first of all, I think we need to calculate the total values, and then we are going to subtract from the total values this value. Okay, and check out if these are equal to, for example, 0 in this case. Not equal, we are going to move forward. We are going to take this value and we are going to from the sum of all, we are going to subtract these two, and like this, so on and so forth. So in order to achieve this, we need to first calculate total values, then we are going to calculate left sum that will be 0 at the 0th index. Okay, and then we are going to iterate moving forward. Then we are going to calculate right sum that will be total minus left sum minus current index value. We call this x. So for example, if we are at this point, we're going to calculate total, we're going to minus this and minus current value, and going to compare it with this values. So first of all, we're going to calculate total equals to, so we're going to use the function sum and going to calculate sum of the list num. Then we're going to move forward. Left sum initially would always be 0 at the first 0th index. Now we are going to loop through values to compare right and left values. Okay, so now we are going to loop through values to compare right and left values. Okay, so for And we're going to, how we're going to do this, we're going to enumerate uh, the list num. This will give us the index and value of all the items in this list. So for I comma x in enumerate, we're going to enumerate num. Okay, and then we are going to check if left sum equals to, we have the total values. In that we're going to subtract current index value, that would be x, minus we're going to subtract the left sum value. Okay, so when we get put 1, okay, and then if this is true, we're going to call out pivot index is, and we're going to return format, and this will hold the index of the position would be I. Okay, okay, and if it is not, then we're going to add value in the left sum, and what would be that value? That would be x, current index value. And if there is no pivot, then we're going to return there is no pivot index. Okay, now let's test this function with initially the num. So I just write down, okay, and the pivot index is 3. Okay, now let's create another list, num2 and num3. Okay, I'm changing the values. I make this 5, make this 4, make this 5, take this 9. Okay, and I'm going to test it. There is no pivot index in num2. There is no pivot index. Okay, so if I just turn these to, for example, this is 1, okay, and I turn this to -1 and also a 2 here. So now let's try again. There is no pivot index because at this point, okay, now if I just subtract this, now it is going to give pivot index is 1. So this is the pivot index. Values on the left hand side equal to the value on the right hand side. May you have any queries, feel free to get in touch. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.